all right. Hey, guys and gals. Hello. Hey, guys and gals. What is good? What is good this fine day? What is good? How are you doing? Lurkers, twerkers, sandwich making workers. I love it. I love it. Thank you for stopping by, lurkers. Let's go. Much love. Dedicated, committed. I love it so much. You guys are great. Absolutely great. Let's go. I'm gonna pump you guys up and get you all excited to learn some C++ coding. That is what we are doing here. But I must finish up in chat. Get this stuff done. I know, lots of spam. I know. I have problems, guys. I have issues. I can't control myself. I'm out of control. Let's go. Allow me to finish up, please. That would be great. This is for you peoples that drop by and chat, part of the live stream. Some quotes, keep you motivated, pumped up, excited, all those good things. The things of the things, those things. I just had to. It's all I had. Let's go. How's your day going, by the way? Thank you for hitting that play button, too. Man, legends. You guys know I appreciate you. On the live stream, those of you watching the content when it's not live, ! live, if you know what I mean. What does the exclamation point do in coding? Let's go. Almost done. And then I want to show the love. To you guys and gals, in a figuratively speaking fashion, okay? Sheesh. You guys. Sheesh. Let's go. All right, turn it up. I think that's it for spamming chat. Let's go vibes. Because I like dropping the vibes, some positivity. I try, guys. I try. Let's go. Quick shouty outies. Yeah, I just closed my document. That's great. But, quick shout outs to the recent followers over the last couple of weeks. I just closed mine. Normally I shout out more of you fine peoples. You know who you are. I've shouted you out quite a bit. Well, over the last 25 days, I guess, a music, Chama, _117, Rough Riders Gaming, Low Level, RS, So Snob. I don't know, bro. Figure it out. I like that one. That's a good one. I try Ty. How you doing, Ty? Let's go. The absent present person. Welcome, absent present person. The person we don't know. Are they absent or are they present? Let's go. I love that. That's gold. And white. White and Hood Rich. Turn it up. And most recent, follow, let's go. Mi amigo F. Fernand. Luis, right? Or Luis? I hope I got that right. Hola, hola. Bueno, mi amigo. Bueno. Let's go. I love it. Thank you guys and gals for showing up. Turn it up. Showing up. Showing up. Showing the love. Johnny with Bologna&Weiners coding, because that's what we do over here. I literally had a wiener and made a bologna sandwich every time before I stream. But hey, I'm happy because guess what? Guess what? The most important thing of all, I have coffee. That's what matters. Johnny is a pleasant person to be around when he has coffee. Don't forget to buy me a coffee, guys and gals. Okay, this is a lot of work. All right, I'm doing it for myself too. I know, I get that. Okay. Well, mind you, I've done all this already for myself, but I want to help share my knowledge and experience with you beautiful, intelligent people that want to learn C++ coding. Again, any other language that you may, well, you're going to want to have to, well, yeah. Industry, if you check out industry, hiring, you know, check out some postings and that, just to kind of get an idea, you'll see that they want you to learn a lot of different things, thingy things, such as Python, and SQL, a bunch of other things as well. So just to give you a heads up, if you learn C++ first, I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you, everything else is going to be easy. You'll be laughing. You'll be like, psh, man, this is so kindergarten. Because literally, it's going to feel like that. I'm sure of it. Let's go. For the most part, the theory and what happens under the hood, for the most part, like you get a deeper understanding with C++. I firmly believe. Every other language is a managed language, so you don't really have to do the housekeeping that I talk about. Boring! I like to do housekeeping. I take full advantage of that coffee. I'm nursing it because, you know, I literally want to just savage it. But I must control myself. I must control. Contain yourself, Johnny. Contain yourself. Let's go. So yeah, no, it's great to have you guys and gals. If your dream, your goal, your desire is to learn C++, whether it is for career related or just maybe you want to be an indie developer, or you're just doing it for funsies because you can. That's right, you can. I believe in you. I totally believe in you. Here to help you learn and grow. Gonna do my best with showing examples, explaining, hopefully not over explaining. You know, slowly getting better at this teaching thing. I'm trying. But it's great to have you. All my videos, I immediately, I pretty much export them over to YouTube land. Not to get into too much detail, but I kind of have no choice. It is what it is. And no sense crying in my cornflakes. So if you want to follow this C++ coding lecture, it is a lecture course outline I'm following. So as a heads up, it's a lecture, you know. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna want to be committed, okay? Right? All right, so get that mindset, right? If this is actually something you want to do, get yourself committed. Get yourself desiring it. Get yourself wanting it. Wanting to grab it and take on the challenge. Right? We all over here support you. Okay? All the videos are over on YouTube land. Bologna&Weiners coding. Start from the beginning, the first step, first video. Some of them I try to turn into like audio books if you guys like to do audio learning. I'm trying, it's kind of a balance between visual lectures and audio. Helps to see the visual as well, I guess. And step by step, gradually growing and learning in a linear fashion, here to help you. And I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. I absolutely mean that. Followers, supporters, I love you guys. I do. I totally do. Okay? Yes, I do. All right, we are going to get into this. We must get going and learning. We must. Trying to make it fun over here, a little bit of humor, sarcasm, laughter, jokes, and seriousness. That gets me all pumped up and excited. That's my fam in the background, supporting you beautiful, intelligent people, followers, lurkers and twerkers, sandwich making workers, supporters, those that hit the play button. I appreciate y'all. I truly, truly do. All right, we're going to get going. Okay, guys? I always kind of go through this part. This is kind of the flick the old switch in the cranium brainium, put on the old learning cap, and leave the dunce cap with the dunce cappers. Leave them all behind, the type that goes, learning, ooh, puke, yuck. I don't like learning. You know who they are. And they're not you. Let's go. Okay, all right, let's do this. It is time. We are going to continue. We're continuing on with, let's get the program up. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Visual Studio's doing another update, apparently. I decided to I was thinking of doing the update, but it's like, man, I just want to get to streaming. So, I gotta do an update after. I don't know what they're throwing in this time. Currently, I am on version 17, 14, 18. Okay? I don't know. Somebody must have missed something, so they had to re-release another update, because I literally just did one. I don't know. When was it? 2 days ago? It's okay. I'm not going to cry or whine or complain about it, because I appreciate the fact that I have the privilege to use Visual Studio. Thank you, Microsoft, for allowing me to use your $10,000 vehicle for learning coding. I know AutoCAD isn't letting me use their software. Otherwise, I'd be doing that and probably making money off drawings. Hello, my name is Simon, and I'd like to make drawings. That's a bit of a throwback. Oh, man. Figure out what you want to do in life while you're young, guys and gals. You have to figure it out. Don't be like me. I missing the boat. Sometimes life sends you messages. They're like, here's a message. But then you don't pay attention to it, and then you miss the boat. And then years and years later, you're like, oh, I was supposed to do that. Right? And then you have regrets. Okay? Don't do that, because they suck. Regrets suck. I mean, you learn from mistakes. That's how we learn as humans. But yeah, hopefully you figure out what you want to do in life. I wish you all the best. All right. So we are continuing with Heap allocation, stack in the free store. You've been learning lots about the stack. You should have a pretty good understanding on that. We've been doing examples, passing by value, passing by reference, passing by pointer reference, showing you how to access a memory address through code, how you can change an original variable using a pointer that, you create a pointer that stores the memory address of a certain variable. Like this right here, for example, this is a pointer storing a memory address of this. This is the memory address it's holding. So we can actually change that value through the pointer in code. So we actually here, if you've been following, I'm just going to kind of go over it briefly. Hopefully you didn't miss last video. Again, you got to kind of follow the video by video. We're kind of doing things in a contiguous linear fashion here, boys and girls. Okay, that's what's happening. And we actually changed the value of local var through the pointer. Okay, so we're doing all those sort of things. Newing up, learning about newing up. What you have to do when you new up. Well, you have to delete. Oh, and I didn't remove that. I'm surprised it's not yelling at me. Okay, oh, I still created it here. It's fine. I figured the program might yell at me going, hey, I don't know what Heap is. It does exist. I created it, didn't do anything with it here in code, and then I just deleted it. But whenever you're newing up, just remember, recall, you have to do the housekeeping, okay? Eventually, stick around, stay tuned, follow the series. I'll show you how to create your own class that can kind of manage your, what I call heap allocated objects. It's amazing. So, and then you don't really have to do any housekeeping. You just create the class and let the class kind of do everything behind the scenes. It's great. Okay. Let's see what else. All these notes are kind of for you to help. These are memory notes, right? Okay, little memory notes. When you see ampersand, think memory address. I've got that typed in correctly. There we go. New, think memory address, right? Right? New basically means free up some space on the dynamic memory, right? Or create some space or allocate some space. And that space is dependent on your data type. All right. And then delete whenever you're newing up, always delete. So new and delete come in pairs. Right? So remember that. Okay. New and delete come in pairs. Ampersand basically comes in pairs with the pointer when you're creating a pointer, right? This is kind of something different, right, to this. This is still creating a pointer, but it is a pointer, it is. But again, the difference is this one is stack memory, okay, because this is stack allocated. So it's just holding a memory address of a stack allocated variable. You got to understand the differences, right? Get that organized in your head. Sometimes I'm like, I have to stop myself and think and go, right? To recall things. Okay, that's normal. Okay, so these two kind of technically speaking belong together as well. And then these belong together. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that. We're going to clean up. And we're going to do some more things. Do some more things on the things. Apologies that I have to clean things up. Do I keep that? I don't know. Whoops. It's unfortunate, but we got to kind of keep moving forward here. So, I have to kind of clean things up. Okay, so now we're going to get into another look at. I always got to try to remind myself to update this. Another look at memory leaks. Okay. That's where the delete comes in, because we have to clean up. Because it's pointing to a memory location, and that location that it's pointing to when you're newing up, when you're newing up, you're leaving that memory there, right? Filled with whatever. And that's the memory space they have to manage. Okay? Again, you don't have to worry about that with stack allocated variables or objects. The scope, the sister scope here, does all the cleaning for you. Okay? We should be good. Okay, I might take this out now. That note has been there for a long time. Let's just kind of move things around here. Okay. I kind of deleted the example, but whatever. That's okay. All right. Anything else? Heap allocated pointer plus newing up. I'll just get rid of that as well, I guess. And these are good notes, which I should probably keep around. Okay, bop, and go like this. And I'm just gonna go like that. Whoops. Get rid of all that extra redundancy. There we go. Okay, and then I can tap this just to kind of, All right. Let's run it. Make sure we're good. All right, perfect. I have to update that now. Recent follower. Man, it's great to have you guys. Thank you for finding the content on Twitch. You guys are great. I don't know, Twitch is probably recommending. Yeah, thank you, Twitch. You guys are recommending. Unlike that other platform. That's amazing. I love it. Thank you, Twitch. Slowly getting new follows, and it's great. Great. Okay, can I actually copy that? No, I can't. I'm gonna have to bring up, bear with me, guys. I should have checked the stream as well. The mic is doing, the mixer's working, so that's good. That's a winner chicken dinner. I'm gonna have to bring up, perfect. Okay, I need to go to here and here, and I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm gonna update this. Much love, White and Hood Rich. Much love, brother. I gotta keep showing the love, to the new supporters. Thank you for understanding. All right, boom, boom. Let's go. Big yays. Okay. Now, so another look at memory leaks. I'm going to do some reading. It's not a lot. There's a little bit to do, but there's examples as well. So probably, maybe I'll actually screenshot it. We'll see. Memory leaks are one of the most serious issues and complaints about pointers, right? Yeah, I don't want to go down that road. I'm not a crybaby. I don't care. Just manage your stuff, right? And stop crying in your cornflakes, okay? All right? It is what it is. That's the saying I always go with. It is what it is. It's on a double loop, and I gotta keep like unchecking the loop. It's so annoying. All right, let's continue. All right, so you have seen one way that memory leaks can occur. Another way you might inadvertently create a memory leak is by reassigning your pointer before deleting the memory to which it points. Okay, so consider the following code. I'm just going to, instead of typing it up, I'll just snipping tool it so you guys and gals can read along. All right, yeah, I'll just share all of this little section. Why not? What the Batman? I didn't even want to grab that. Okay, whatever, that works. Okay, good enough. So you see here, they have unsigned short int, creating a pointer. It's equal to, this is allocating space on the heap. Pointer equals, so basically, right, you have to use the dereferencing pointer. I hate calling it, I strongly dislike calling it that. Dereferencing mark, what other word can I use for it? Assigning a value to it, and then, whoa, what are they doing here? Oh my goodness, what a disaster. That's nasty. My brain broke seeing that. Right? No, line 3? Whoa. Okay, let me see. So line 1 creates a pointer, assigns it the address on an area of the free store or heap. Line 2 stores the value 72. Everything's good up till line 2. It's line 3 that's huge cringe. Line 3 reassigns P pointer to another area of memory. Which would it would do? It would do. Line 4 places the value 84 in that area, so probably the new area. The original area in which the value 72 is now held is now unavailable, right? You left that number kind of just, that's dangling. That's what's called dangling. So that's left behind. It's like the bus taking off on you. Oh my God, brutal. Okay, so right here, don't do this, guys. No. You gotta delete it. Clean up this, get rid of this, and then you could do this. Okay? Because the pointer to that area of memory has been reassigned, right? Doing this creates a new area on the heap. No way exists to access that original area of memory, nor is there any way to free it before the program ends, right? You got to realize this is runtime, okay? It's dynamic. Things are in motion. The code should have been written like this. There we go. Much better. Okay, so where is that? I want to look for something. I want to look for something, and then, okay, just give me a sec. Come on, too many folders. Okay, all right, here we go. Where is that guy? That guy right here. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna open this. Okay. So basically, just ignore this. It went from this to this to this. Check. Right? Right here. Right here. Oh. Oh. Right here. Right here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I should screenshot that. That would be better. I'll do it like this. This would work better. I should fix this. Okay, back to this. Open this. I'm taking this. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to take this. I have to do some editing, but that's okay. What? Oh, right. This is still open. Dang. Okay, let me finish this before I do that. Okay, I actually have to. Well, I could probably do a new one, maybe. Okay, and then I just gotta save that. And just temporarily, I don't know, somewhere. What do I call it? Sure. And I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna save it. And then I'm gonna do another. I apologize, I'm doing this right now, guys. And here, did I lose that other one? I might have. Okay, and save, and then I'm gonna go like this. Control C, and then I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna go. What is it called? Weekend. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay. And yes, there we go. Okay. So first thing I would do is, okay, I'm gonna close that. Do I still have that snipping? I probably lost it. I'll snip it again, guys. Okay, where did I save that brutal sauce? And I don't even know where I saved it. Okay. Well, the easiest way to find out is to just do a what the. New, and I don't know, I'll just do a fake one somewhere here, and then I gotta figure out where I'm saving it. Where did I, okay, there it is. Okay, go up and here, and then so the first thing, okay, first I have to do this, okay, and then we're almost there, guys, we're almost there. Okay, I'm gonna create a new one. I have to bring this back because I lost it, right? Okay, I'm gonna move this here. Okay, there. And I don't know what. Whoa! How did we stretch? We went like that. There we go. Okay. And so now I just go like this, right? This will be better. This will be better. Okay, boom, right? Of course, it's on this side. And it's way too large. Right? I have to edit this, right? So, okay, right? That would work. And then I just go like this and like this. There we go. Right? There we go. Oh, yes. There we go. Makes more sense now, right? Yeah, it does. Totally does. You guys got this. Big yays. Kind of doing some stuff on the fly here. Again, I did that in about 5-10 minutes, and I didn't waste my employer's 8 hours of his money trying to figure something out that only should take 5 or 10 minutes. All right. Okay, so let's finish up. Oh, you're cringing me. do you take that out of a double loop? So annoying having to do that all the time. I like the sound effects. I do. I love it. But I gotta constantly, and I feel like I just unchecked it and then it went whatever. I'm gonna move forward. Man, I just wanna God. Get crushed. I'm fine, guys. I'm fine. Okay. Goosefraba. This code should have been written like this. Okay? Everything's the same. So the delete pointer, so this is the point here where you free up your memory, right? You can continue on doing these sort of things, yes. Again, this is part of the management, right? Normally, you know, when I create programs and such, I mean, I know you can change things, you can do this. Maybe there's reasons, maybe it just depends on your code and what you're creating, I guess. I usually, you know, I use my objects or whatever, do my thing. Well, they're variables actually. I use my variables in my code, and then at the end of it, right before the end of the scope, I'll do the delete process. Or actually, as a matter of fact, I use that class instead. But normally my point is I wouldn't even be going to this point. I would be just ending it right here. Okay. I hope that made sense. My point is I wouldn't be doing lines 4 and 5 again. If I'm done with my variables, I'm done, sort of thing. Okay, but maybe you need to reinitialize them. Maybe there's a reason. You know, maybe you need some new numbers for calculations or whatever, right? These things can happen, right? Okay, so now the memory originally pointed to by the pointer is deleted, thus freed, right? For every time in your program that you call new, there should be a call to delete. It is important to keep track of which pointer owns an area of memory, right? When it's pointing to a specific area in memory, right, guys? And to ensure that the memory is returned to the free store when you are done with it. Essentially, that's the housekeeping. Okay? It's really not that hard to do. It's what you have to type the word delete. Oh my God. That's pretty. I know we're lazy typers and stuff. I get it. But if you're going to cry in your cornflakes about having to type the word delete, get out of here! Go to Python. I don't know. That's just me. I don't mind. All right, let's keep moving forward. Creating objects on the free store. Just as you can create a pointer to an integer, you can create a pointer to any data type, including classes. Ooh. If you have... Start again. If you have declared an object of type cat, I guess we're going back to creating that. If you've been following the series, originally we created a cat class, which I deleted. Looks like we're going to be creating Frisky again. That's fine. I mean, it's an example. I might create it, I don't know, as an animal class, because you could actually, expand on the animal class and use it like a base class. Anyways, that is classes in the future. In the future. Hey, welcome to the future. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to read. You can declare a pointer to that class and instantiate, we've heard that word before, instantiate a cat object, right? So that's what instantiation means, right? And it only refers to, you actually have to have a class created, and instantiation is basically creating an object, okay, of that class. So you can instantiate a cat object on the free store just as you can make one on the stack. The syntax is the same as for integers. Okay, so here's their example, but we haven't created a cat class yet, so the program's not going to recognize it naturally, right? So p cat equals, so this would be our object, right? That's why sometimes maybe variables and objects can, variables just hold one data type, right? Objects can like do so much more. I need to, let's see if we can find an actual decent definition of an object so that I'm not giving you bad examples or poor definitions, okay? In C++, an object is a region of storage that can hold a value of a particular type. This definition applies to instances of fundamental types like int, double, char, as well as instances of user-defined types, classes, and structs. More specifically, in the context of object-oriented programming in C++, this is the AI overview, guys and gals. Here's what an object does, okay? I'll just screenshot it, okay? These AI overviews are kind of nice, okay? I can't zoom it up, but there you go. An object can do so much more, right? Though people use the word blueprint as an example, sure. I don't know, it didn't help me. It's not the best analogy, but for some it'll probably work. Anyways, that's enough with the flashbang screen. I do apologize. Okay. It was kind of a vague. I wish the definition was a little bit better, but again, an object can do so much more. Okay, it's constantly changing line by line, I guess is kind of what I could use as an example. So there we go. If we had a cat class, right, I could actually call it animal class, because I might create it as an animal. I don't know, we'll see. Again, when I do those sort of things, I kind of have to make sure that I have to be able to decipher their code, which I'm not too worried about, but it's kind of like a little bit extra thinking processes. I'd rather kind of just do my own thing, my own examples, versus copying, somebody else's stuff verbatim. Okay, so this calls the default constructor. Okay, the default constructor, the reason is any other constructor you're calling would have like a variable, right, of some sort, right? It's still a default constructor, but it's a default constructor that takes maybe I'll just call it var1, var2, right? So when you see this sort of syntax, that means you're calling a default constructor with a parameter list, okay? You don't need the parentheses to call a default constructor, is kind of my point. So no parentheses, you're still calling the free default constructor, because it comes for free. We don't have to call it, we don't have to do anything. It's all done for us magically under the hood. Okay, that's kind of what makes the magic happen. The default constructor makes things happen. All right. The constructor takes no parameters, right? Is typically called a default constructor. All right. The constructor is called whenever an object is created. Okay. So here's the object, right? Because this is the syntax: class name, object name, right? And then equals new, well, data type, right? No, new class name. Okay. Again, the point is creating objects on the free store. That's what we're doing, creating objects on the free store. That's what this syntax is doing, or statement. So the constructor is called whenever an object is created on the stack or on the free store. Be aware, however, that you are not limited to using only the default constructor. I've already kind of showed you if you're following the series, and it's great that you have been. You'll understand, right? Even the way I'm speaking and the certain wordage or verbiage I'm using, you'll understand what I mean, right? If you're not following the series, you might be confused, okay? And saying it nicely here, that's not my fault, okay? So be aware, however, that you are not limited to using only the default constructor, right? You can use a parameter list constructor and those sort of things. When creating an object with new, any constructor can be used. Deleting objects from the free store. Okay, we are going to do an example. Did I clean things up? Okay, here we go. Right, and I'm gonna delete this as well. I'm gonna go like this because it's broken code, right? It's unrecognized. Okay, deleting objects from the free store. When you call delete on a pointer to an object on the free store, that object's destructor is called before the memory is released. Okay, that would be like, well, at the end of the scope. In this case, it would be here, only because I have this added extra empty scope. Okay, this is extra, right? You don't normally see this. Whenever you're looking at int main, normally that's it. Okay, normally. I add the empty scope so you guys and gals can see things being deleted. Okay, that's the reason for the empty scope. All right. All right, let's create our class, I guess. They're doing everything over the main like usual. I think let me just look. Are they expanding on that class at all? They might, yeah. So I want to kind of teach you guys and gals to, right? When you're working on projects, you're creating projects. I really believe, like I haven't worked for any major companies, but I imagine when they create a class, they're not doing it above the main. Because when you're learning and stuff, you can create a class up here. You can. Okay? Again, if you've been following the series, you would have seen me do these type of examples, and then we eventually took it and created our own source code and our own header file for the class. And that's kind of what I want to teach you guys and gals, right? How to set up your classes separate from your main. There are a lot of reasons, okay? I don't know. Let's see. Is there a good example or reason on the internet? I don't know. I'm just kind of doing a vague kind of cue here or question. Separating a C++ class from the main function and often into its own header and source files. Okay, here we go. All right. Whoa, there's a lot of good reasons here. Okay? Without me going over it, right, I feel the best thing to do is to show you. Okay? All right, so let's do this. You don't have to worry. You won't be flashbanged. But what I did is this, okay? Again, AI overview stuff. Okay, I'll leave it like that. So that's what I typed. Okay, modularity and organization. When you're getting into encapsulation, improved readability, clearer structure. Me, I'm a bit OCD. I like doing that kind of organization. Okay, you can pause and read that. I won't torture you with my reading skills. Here's another one. Okay, there's a lot of good information on the internet you can learn from. If you just need, some quick answers, it's there. Okay, reusability, maintainability and collaboration, compilation efficiency, right? I didn't have those answers in my head. That's why I did a quick search, right? There are good reasons. So that's what I do. And plus, I like to think that the industry, it's normal in the industry with C++, right? Because this is, let's be real, it is a C++ thing, right? That's what I love about C++. It's like it's the wolf, it's not the sheep, okay? That's kind of a terrible analogy, but it's its own identity, is what I mean, right? It stands out in the crowd. It wants to be its own individual, right? It's a leader, not a follower. Okay? Right? So there you go. I probably should add that information to my quick reference. It's probably a good idea, but that's okay. All right, so how to create a class. Let's do that. Okay, am I going to use a namespace? Yeah, maybe I should avoid it. We'll keep it simple. So I am in my, what I call the real time or the one-on-one communication with your file explorer. So the non-virtual. Okay, you have the virtual and you have the non-virtual. If you've been following along, you'll know what I mean. I create them in the non-virtual. Under my SRC, we're going to create a class. No. Well, I could do it that way. I just like doing it this way. What are we going to call it? I didn't want to really use their, but how do I do this? I don't want it to be too confusing. We need kind of a basic, we're creating what would be called a base class, okay? What's a good name for it? Animal. I know I was thinking animal, but I don't know what else to think of. The other thing is with this sort of stuff is You want to spend the time, if you're actually serious about this and you want to create a program or whatever, I recommend just kind of writing some information down. Like if you have in your head that you want to create a class, maybe just kind of jot down like what you want to name the class, what type of variables you're going to use, what type of private variables you're going to use, all those sort of things. Are you going to have getters and setters, or are you just going to have just getters, right? What methods am I going to use? Am I going to have helper methods? All those goodness things. They say the hardest thing to do is kind of coming up with your variable names, right? Once you understand the layout and all the syntax and sort of thing with creating your statements and classes, it's very consistent, right? I don't know, let's go animal base, okay? Let's just go animal base. I'm going to call it base just to keep it so it makes sense. You'll hear these terms base class and child class, or parent class, child class. Base class, derived class. They're basically the same thing. Now we're going to create so we created our CPP, now we need our header. Same name. What? I didn't copy the whole thing? Alright, make sure it matches. There we go. Now I just need kind of a generic class so I could kind of just copy and paste so I'm not constantly retyping stuff. Let's see, something generic I need. What do I have? To be honest, I don't know what I have. Let's see, is this a generic one? Sure, it kind of looks like it is, yeah. Alright, so we're in our header, typical pragma, that's common. Am I going to have an IO stream in it? I don't know yet. So first thing I'm going to do is just create my separation. Okay. This should be called method. I do have that kind of methods. There's more, right? More than just a method, to be honest. It's vague, I guess. And then there I'm going to have my ending. So I just do this for separation so you guys kind of know the top stuff, the middle stuff, and where it ends, okay? You don't have to do this, right? This isn't common. It's kind of what I do. I'm at home doing my own thing. I could do my own thing, right? Again, it's not being released. This is just for learning and educational purposes only. They are using the IO stream. Yeah, okay. So they are using it. Okay, that's fine. I see what they're doing, so I might do the same. Let me just see. Is that in here? I want to see if I can find my other examples that have. Let's see. I have to kind of randomly look here. Ah, there we go. Okay, perfect. This one. I found it. And there we go. Okay. And here. I guess I should have brought that up as well. Okay. All right. IO stream. Oh, darnity darn skis. One other thing I like to find, just to share with you guys and gals. I'm trying to speed it up here. Here we go. Just some notes for you, okay? Bop. And they call this a header guard, okay? It's just so that the header isn't like reused, duplicated. It's like a one-time thing. I did do a definition. I don't like the definition I gave you. Okay, it's called a header guard. Okay. Definition. A pragma, which is short for pragmatic information. Okay, that's kind of some cool information. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. I'm trying to keep this PG, guys and gals, so I use non-explicitive language. I try my best. Is a preprocessor directive that provides implementation, defined information to the compiler. It allows you to give specific instructions or options to the compiler that are not part of the standard C language itself. Purpose. They are used to control various aspects of the here. Let me just do this. This way you don't have to search it. All right. There you go. You can kind of pause it. Here we go. This is the best definition right here. There it is. That's what I was looking for right there. Okay. All right. You can pause it and read it. I just kind of got rid of it. So I'm going to go down here because I don't think anybody explains what pragma is. It's like they avoid it every time. Okay. Just from what I've been seeing or watching. Okay. And I'm just going to go like this. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go like this. Okay, there we go. Okay. A common example is pragma once, which is used in the header files to ensure that the file is included only once during compilation, preventing multiple definition errors. Okay, or you'll hear instances or occurrences, that sort of thing with objects too. Kind of just reminded me of that a little bit. But there you go. That's it in a nutshell. Okay? What is pragma? Probably the only channel talking about pragma. It seems like people just avoid that all the time. Okay. Let's continue. It's great to have you. You know it is. I need some more coffee. I'm really nursing it, but I'm telling you guys, I should make 2 cups. But then I would be going to the washroom all the time. All right. We must keep moving. Okay, let's hurry up. So in the header is where you create the class. Okay? And I'm going to call it, normally I call my namespace the same name as this, but I'm not going to use a namespace, so I'm just going to call it, it's supposed to refer to a cat, so I'm going to call it animal cat. I know it's not really what I want to do, but it's just an example. Okay, so let's create a class. Take note, we are in the header, all right? That's where we are. Okay, and so creating it, so we have to create our destructor. Wow, good or typing. Animal. It's not, I wouldn't normally call it an animal cat. It would just be like a base animal or something like that, right? But their example is a cat, so I guess maybe I should try to make it make sense. I don't know. Let's just roll with it, all right? Animal cat, there we go. That's creating a constructor, and that's creating a destructor. Okay, look at that. There's no underlining going on. That's crazy. Okay, let's go to... I don't need this anymore. Close that. Let's go to our source, which these two belong together. Okay, the main is on its own. But whenever you're separating your classes, typically it's header source. Okay, for the class only. Okay, I can do everything all in the header. I could. I don't like doing that. I like doing both. Okay, again, you've seen all the reasons why. All right, to quickly create these, let me just do this first. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. My separation, let's just do that quickly. Now you know where the beginning and the end is. So whenever you create a header, right, to link the CPP file to the header, we have to do this. This is the linking. All right, and it's called animal base.h. I could have tabbed it. It's already brought it here, but I wasn't paying attention. Okay, that's the linking. Right? So now we linked the header to the source. Linking the header to the source. That's what we just did. Okay? And when you do this step, right, it's probably best practice, just get in the habit. When you do this step, copy this and go to the main. And include it also in the main, because the main needs to see it. It's kind of like a seeing thing, right? The main can't see it unless you tell it, right? Right? Now we're telling the main, hey main, there's an animal base class. Okay? That makes sense? Pretty easy, right? So that's why I say, once you do this, just copy it, go to the main, just get it done, so you don't forget. Okay? So now that I've done all this, let's create these. Okay, so I highlight it. I don't think you have to. I'm just gonna right click. Probably you only need to right click, which is what it looks like. I'm gonna do that. And it's true. I don't know, I just got into the habit of highlighting. I don't know, it's a habit I created, so there we go. Okay, so what I did is I just created it into the source. That's what I've done. Okay, if you don't want to do that, you can actually type it. You can type it too, but remember, you have to link. You're gonna see the duplication, right? It's kind of just for the program. This right, if you look at this right here, let me show you. Okay, this is the class name, what you're seeing. Okay, first thing you're seeing is the class name. Remember what those are. I should have them still. That's why I kept them, because I knew we were going to be talking about them again. Binary scope resolution operator. Okay, binary scope resolution operator. And I gave it an example here if you're working with methods. Okay, so going back here, we created this is a constructor. Well, the default one. Normally I would copy and paste this stuff, but probably should. And then this is the destructor. Okay. I'm just gonna go like this because I'm gonna create that. Okay, so what you're seeing here is class name, constructor name. That's what you're seeing. With this one here, you're seeing class name, destructor name. Okay, hence why there's a tilde there. Okay, there you go. That's it in a nutshell. Just so you have an understanding what you're seeing, right? Class name, constructor name. Class name, destructor name. This destructor belongs to this class. This constructor belongs to this class. Essentially, that's what it is in a nutshell. All right, it's for the program. Don't question, just do. All right, so, and then, right, I forgot. Okay, right now, it's not a struct. Okay, structs come from C language. Structs can be used in C++. Classes are kind of the build up from structs, but classes have been created and developed for C++. Okay, it's an expansion. But just remember, classes are private by default. Okay? I always say these little notes just to help give you that reassurance, extra instruction, and just for memory's sake, because you kind of have to recall this stuff through. It's easy to forget things, right? So the repetition I do for you because I must, and I want you to learn, and I want you to succeed in this. And don't forget to buy me a coffee. That would be awesome. All right, private by default. The reason I said that is because I want them to be public. So I have to type public so that these are public. What that means is now the main can see it. Okay, now the main can see those, the constructor and the destructor. That's essentially what's happening. Okay, and then private. Now the main can't see any of this stuff. Int m underscore, this is my syntax, it's age. Okay, and then I don't think you need to, but I just got into the habit of initializing here in the private area. Okay, that's it. That's it to their class so far. This is just what would be called boilerplate code. Okay, boilerplate code. That's actually a word of the day for you. Okay, word of the day, boilerplate code. All right, it's redundant, it's repetitive, but it's necessary, right? Again, no sense crying in your cornflakes. Just do. If you love doing this, you won't. It's not even a bother to do this stuff. If you love doing something, right? Truly isn't. Not bothersome at all. All right, so where are we? Okay, Normally you get a destructor for free. I mean constructor. Right? So you don't really need to create it, right? Because it's actually there under the hood for free. Okay, just as a note. And then also, well, we are doing heap allocated, I believe. But if you've been following the series, you don't really need a destructor when you're using stack allocated objects. All right? Let's see. So now let's go into our... We have to finish this. We're not done this, okay? just didn't want that extra confusion, you know. We'll just go like this. Just to kind of have everything kind of one-lined here. All right. I just put public members because I know this stuff's public. It's just a reminder to me. If I go into my source code, I can see that they're public. All right. Here we go. One other thing. There's more than just methods going on, but that's okay. Just kind of updating my stuff behind. That's the thing. I just copied it from the main and then just kind of kept going with it. All right. So I'm going to put nothing here. Normally it would be nothing here. Okay. Leave me alone, Bob. All right. The same thing with here. 100%. Nothing. Like, if you're working for a company, 100%. This is what you do. Okay. I don't want to see you guys putting standard COs. Okay. If you're working for a company, right? All right, unless the company itself is doing these sort of things, then you could just follow what they're doing. But not recommended. If you're at home doing this sort of thing, you can do this. Okay. I'm going to show you my little trick. You could use it or not. So this is when I see these ... or 3 asterisks, I could go DDD. I guess it doesn't matter, right? I just wanted to use a symbol. This represents my constructor being initialized or doing the things, the magic under the hood. Okay? And then same thing with okay. Here. All right. And the tilde with the so. You're following along? I know I don't need to explain that. You get the idea, right? This is so that you can see what the magic that's happening under the hood. That's why I'm doing this. Okay, so you can see it. Utilizing my empty scope. All right. I'm kind of going back and forth here. So what have they done here? They're in their code. They're going constructor called. I'm kind of doing the same thing with this, right? This means constructor called. This means destructor called. Okay, it's destroying our object. So what they're doing is inside our constructor. Now, I know I have nothing here, but I just wanted to show you, right? If you're actually doing stuff inside, you wouldn't have nothing here, right? It's an A or a B thing. Either it's nothing there or it's something there, right? So they're taking the, this, right now it's initialized to 0, right? And they're initializing it to 1. That's what they're doing. They're taking advantage of the constructor to change the value of the private variable. Okay, that's what they're doing under the hood. Okay, and then I have essentially destructor called. Just gonna go like that. Okay. All right, what else are they doing? So that's it. That's all right now. Okay. boilerplate code, just enough code to kind of see, things happening when you make the magic happen in the int main. Okay, that's it. That's all we have right now. Okay, pretty simple, huh? There isn't a lot there. Isn't that nice and clean? And we don't have everything in the main here cluttering things up, even though I have a lot of extra notes and such. A lot of bit of information going on, I know, but it's mostly for you guys, for notes and all those sort of things. Is this still on? I'm just curious. Is it 20? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so I have it on version 20. Kind of cringed a little bit. Normally I'm using 17 a lot. Okay, let's go to the main. Okay, so now we're in our main. Okay, this section is for variables, and what we're doing here is how to delete objects from the free store. Okay, in order to do these sort of things, you have to create the class, right? You kind of need it. Again, this is the declaration. These are the definitions. Okay, we have nothing else other than constructor and a destructor. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. I'm just gonna go like that. All right. So simple cat frisky. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna kind of try to keep it simple. So we need the class name. Okay, that's the first thing we need. Class name. And now we create our object name. All right, so I want to show you. Okay, the first one is, let me separate this. Okay, first is stack. The way it's created, it's a stack allocated object. Okay, just for clarity. Okay, and they're calling it frisky. Okay, so the way the syntax is, I know I'm kind of moving slow here, guys. I don't want to move fast. I could 4 times speed this, just to satisfy those that want things done quicker. But I apologize to you guys if you get it quickly and understand and all those things. You could kindly, you could skip forward wherever you need to in the video series. I appreciate you being here. We're kind of going at a gradual pace, just for those that kind of, need that gradual growth. Okay? Thank you for understanding. So here, remember earlier, now to call a default constructor, like I said earlier, we could attach it to our object name, right? That's our object name. I gotta go like this because that is wrong. Okay? Class name, object name. All right? We don't need to put those there because just having what looks like a variable, but it's not, this is an actual object. You don't need to go like this to call a default constructor because the default constructor is empty. It doesn't take in any parameters. All right, you understand? Right? We can have constructors. Here it is. Okay, we can also have constructors with a parameter list. Okay, which we don't have right now. Okay, it would be the same name. It would just have like int. Okay, that's what that is. I'm gonna go like this. I'm just gonna comment it out for now. Okay, we may do this. We'll see. We might use it. We'll see. All right, so I call this a stack allocated object, right? Because we're not newing up, right? Following so far? They have some extra code, which is kind of redundant. I really don't care for it much. So now let's create our heap allocated object. All right. This is where we're creating a pointer. Okay. We're actually creating a pointer at this point. No pun intended. So start with a class. Pointer. Now we need, I'm just going to call it P Frisky so that you can see. Right? There we go. P Frisky equals new. Now we're newing up, right? And it's going to equal a new class. Okay, that's the syntax. Don't overanalyze it. Just follow the syntax and carry on. Okay, the main take from this is looking at the syntax and going, oh, I have a static allocated object. Looking at this, oh, I'm newing up on the store, right? That's the main take you want to get from this. Okay, so now it's pointing. Oh, it's not really pointing to this yet, though. Okay, we haven't done anything like that, right? And then that's it. So bop, 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 and then at the end of it, like I said, this is where you want to delete, right? You always delete with your newing up. So delete whatever you newed up. And that's it. Okay, that's why when I was talking earlier, I'll typically do it right at the end before I go out of scope. Because I got this extra curly bracket here, or this empty scope I'm using, we're going to actually see P Frisky being deleted. Okay, they have some extra standard COUts and stuff, but I don't want to confuse you with all that nonsense. It's all extra nonsense. Okay, let's run it. All right, boom. There we go. So you can see constructor and destructor. That's showing you that things have been cleaned up. Now, normally I could put it at the end of this. I didn't really care for the positioning. I don't really have any standard COs to kind of create that extra separation, which might help. Okay, and I'm just going to go like this. I'll just do a double enter and then go like that. Or I could go like this, which would even be just as easy. I don't want to over confuse you, but I'm not confusing you though, guys. I hope not. So I just created a double enter. It's just another way of doing it. Okay. I want to. So up here, we're going to be using you're going to see the allocation happening, and then you're going to see the deallocation happening. Okay, that's kind of the lingo. All right, build again and run. All right, there we go. Constructor, destructor. I should have this kind of sitting outside the scope here, just so you know it's kind of at the end, but it really happens like right here, right at the curly bracket. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, that's really the best way I could show you. Again, like I said, with the empty scope, if you don't have these, you're not going to see. You're not going to see the destructor being called. Okay. You're just not, because if you get this is the endoscope for the main. Okay, the endoscope for the main, right? You won't see the destructor still being called, but you're not going to see printout. Okay, once it gets to here, that's it. The magic is all done. All right. There's a double enter here going on as well. Let me just go like this and run. run that. Okay, that's a little bit better. Right at the curly bracket. Destructor called. Okay, and I could print stuff, right? Let me go like this. Let me go like this. No, that's... Well, we're not really pointing to that. Let's see what happens, okay? The destructor might be called all automatically because the default... Sorry, guys. I gotta catch myself thinking here. The default constructor gets called automatically. We don't have to create this. We don't need to. But you can. Okay? You can still type it. It's not going to hurt. But it gets called automatically. It's what's called for free. Okay? You get it for free. So I commented my... So this would be calling my default constructor, right? But I commented it out. So let's see if we actually see the constructor, the default one being called. Let's have a look. Let's go. Boom. See? Yays. Right? You see it? It still gets called. Right again, it's for free under the hood. Okay, it's for free. Technically speaking, this would still be calling it anyway. So technically speaking, this is still calling the default constructor, right? Okay, again, this here is... Oh, I don't need that. Why is that even there? This would be a stack allocated, right? That's why I kind of kept it here. Let me go like this. I wonder if it's better if it's inline instead. And there we go. Okay. No. Stack allocated. Ah! There we go. I was wondering. There it is. Okay, I was wondering. So it's really odd, interesting, very interesting. Okay, so if you notice, I had this. I just noticed this. I'm like, why is that there? Obviously, I forgot to delete it. Right? If you notice, it only calls the constructor once when I do this. The little subtleties, the little differences that you can notice when you're just testing code, right? This is all part of the learning process, guys and gals, right? So if you notice, I deleted that. This is a stack allocated. This is heap allocated, right? Remember I said, technically speaking, this would be calling the default constructor, and it does. But here now we have two objects, right? Now I'm seeing it because I was like, why am I not seeing my second object? Right? My brain was thinking, oh, look at that. It's after? That's wild. How's it doing that? It called it once it got out after. That's amazing. So the stack allocated gets destroyed before this curly bracket, and the heap allocated gets destroyed after. Let's go, guys. Let's go. You're getting like theory that you might not see. You're getting theory you might not see anywhere else. Okay? So the constructor is called for this object. The constructor is called for this object. This is newing up. The destructor is called to destroy this object, and the destructor is called to destroy this object. Take note of where it gets destroyed. Take note. Things that you learn. That's amazing. That's the subtle differences between stack allocation and heap allocation, right? You get some subtleties, right? Now you know when they get destroyed. Okay? That's pretty awesome. When does that cleanup happen? All right, that's pretty much it for their code there. Pretty basic, straightforward, I hope. Understanding object-oriented programming, that's kind of what we're doing here in a nutshell, guys and gals, right? OOP still. We're not calling any methods or anything, by all means. We're just creating objects. Again, objects, I say, make the magic happen. OOP, that you access data members and functions by using the dot operator, right? We would do that if we were accessing data members, right? You'll hear that term when you hear data members, right? What their meaning is, normally I write helper methods, and then we have also regular methods. I typically, these methods for me would be like int, float, bool would be your helper methods, and then the regular methods would be the void. That's kind of how I separate them, right? So a void method might be just a regular print object or something, right? You know, print object. And I could print I am an object if I wanted to. Go like that, and then I'm gonna go like this, right? We're kind of at the bottom of the code here a little bit, and there we go. It's just a simple print. That's all it is. Cout. Look at me. I'm an object calling a method in, I don't know, I could go on and on, right? It's calling a method. Essentially, that's what it's doing. And close. Right? So how do we call this, right? It's easy, right? Just what I read. Little refresher, right? I guess I could use either one to call it. Let's see, right? Let's find out. Okay, which one can call that method? Which one? Is it the frisky or is it the pointer? Right, the pointer is the memory address. Remember that. Okay, there's little subtleties in the operators, and I'm going to show you the differences between the two operators. Okay, let's type frisky. Okay, now we're going to try to call our method from our class. Okay, that's what we're doing. Frisky, what's up? Okay, now we can see both objects. That's amazing. Okay, if I go dot, if you notice, I hit dot. Let me show you so you can see. I can access print object, right? So this is perfect. All right, so frisky can access that. That's cool, right? So I can run it, check it out, right? I don't have to do anything other than call the method. Object name. Dot method name. Okay, that's essentially, that's it. Okay, object name, dot operator, right? Dot operator. Did I go over that? Do I have an example of that? I'll just bring up something real quick. I know I talked about the, I don't know if I have an example in my C++, okay? Okay, and I just want to show the dot operator. I don't want to show the other one yet. Maybe I will. I should show both. Okay, in case we see it. I want to show you the difference. Right? When do you use the dot operator and when do you use the other one? So there's two operators that can access information. There's the dot operator, and then you have the one called the arrow operator. Okay? I'll let you pause, you can read it. That's some notes for you, okay? All right. Now notice, with the stack allocated object, we can call the method that's in our class using the dot operator. So with the stack allocated object, use dot operator. Okay, I'm showing you, like, these are the differences. A lot of people, they don't show this. I figured this stuff out on my own. You're learning from me now. Okay, so if I go Frisky again, a friend, nice, and I try to use the other operator, look, I have no access to anything. Why is that? Because the arrow operator is meant for when you're newing up. So the dot operator for stack, the arrow operator for newing up. So go P. Can we access anything right now? I don't know. Arrow operator. Look at that. Look at that. Will you look at that, boys and girls? Will you look at that? Whoops. A lot of people might get confused between the dot operator and the arrow operator. I just showed you right here. Okay? Johnny with Bologna&Weiners coding. With heap allocated objects, use the arrow operator. And that's it in a nutshell. And look at that, I could call both print methods. And we should see things being printed twice. Boom. Now, I need an enter right there. So what I'm going to do is, it's real quick fix. I'm just going to put a \n. A leading enter is what I call those. A leading enter. I'll build it, run it again. There we go. Look at me, and I'm an object calling a method. Look at me, I'm an object calling a method, right? You notice that they're both calling the same method. They are. I should write it different. I mean, it's kind of hard to separate the two, right? I could have it saying, look at me, I'm a stack allocated object calling a method. Look at me, I'm a heap allocated object calling a method. I would have to kind of update it somehow. I think I would probably end up with two methods or two void print methods. But you get the idea, okay? I'm giving you guys a little bit of extra learning and such over here, right? I am following the course outline as well, but I'm also giving you expanded knowledge that I know, right? I'll guarantee you don't see any of this explained anywhere. I'll guarantee it. They show you how to do. There's a lot of channels that show you how do, but they don't do the how explain. You feel me? All right, that's the difference. Oh, what are they doing here? Okay, I could show you some weird syntax they have. It's a little bit old school. It's kind of like explicit. You can do these sort of things. Here's another way. I actually showed you another way. Here's the old school way. Now that we have this arrow operator, here's what they used to have to do before. Okay, they used to have to go brackets. They had to dereference, right? Call Frisky to be able to use the dot operator. Okay. So I'm doing so let me just separate this. Remember, this is newing up. Okay. Okay. This is newing up. So this is, you know, kind of the way they had to do it before. I don't know when they released the arrow operator. I have no idea. But that's the difference. They do the exact same thing. If you wanted to use the dot operator, it's just another trick. You can still do this. Even in, I'm using, whoops. Okay, that's my version, right? And I am using C standard 20, okay? Pretty current, right? And you'll see the print being called 3 times now. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. If you got the right coloration, you're fine. You're doing good. Okay? Let's run it. And it'll run. Okay? Boom, yays. Okay? Let me drop the A's. I want to show you something, right? You got to see this. This is part of the learning and growing. I want you guys to have this understanding early on before we just start slamming code, okay? Now take note, okay? Take note, right? Right here you see the constructor being called once. Right here you see the constructor being called once. Right here you see the destructor, my bad. You're seeing the destructor being called once, and you're seeing the destructor being called again, okay? Why is there only 2? Well, because we only have 2 objects. That's why. It's object based, okay? So it depends on how many objects you have. That'll be your constructor and destructor calls. Okay, makes sense? Okay, it doesn't matter how many times you print. I can print 10,000 print objects. I'm not going to see 10,000 of these. Okay, that makes sense? Right? This is object related. So whenever I see this, that means I go in my brain and I go 1, 2. Oh, I have 2 objects. 1, 2. Oh, I just deleted 2 objects. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. It's in a nutshell. All right. Okay, so yeah. So that's how, this is the syntax if you want to use the dot operator. I guess you could call it the old school way. You might see it. They're both the exact same thing. This replaces the 2, the dereferencing, right? Because this actually dereferences as well. If you notice, I don't need the dereference. I don't need to dereference because the arrow operator does the dereferencing. Also does the dereferencing. Okay? Okay, it gets rid of the brackets. Obviously, you're going to either use the dot or the arrow. So these are kind of the, right? You still have to type a dot or you still have to type an arrow. You still have to type something to be able to access methods, right? But here the difference is it gets rid of the dereferencing and it gets rid of the brackets, right? That's what the arrow operator replaces. Okay, it's in lieu of. All right, makes sense? As you can see, parentheses are used to ensure that the pointer object is dereferenced first, right? Right, because it's kind of like, now if you're wondering about the brackets, that's what they're trying to get at. The brackets, it's kind of like a bedmass, pedmass thing, order of operations. You can look at it like that. It wants the compiler to dereference first, then call the method. Okay? Hence why there's brackets or parentheses. Okay? Parentheses are used to ensure that the pointer is dereferenced first before the method is accessed. Remember, parentheses have a higher precedence than other operators. Okay? It's kind of like that with bedmass, pedmass, if you think about it. Because this is cumbersome, C++ provides a shorthand operator. Okay? The shorthand operator is the arrow operator. Actually, now looking at this, I can see they're actually showing an example of the arrow operator here. So it's been around for a while. I didn't search when was the arrow operator created, in what year. I'm not worried about that kind of information. I guess I can learn that later on. It's not really that imperative to know that knowledge or have that knowledge. You just need to know what the arrow operator does and what's its purpose and use and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So they also call it the class member access operator. Okay, so that's another name for it. Class member access operator. Again, just another thing, another name for it. Okay, just another name for it, which is created by typing the dash immediately followed by the greater than symbol. C++ treats this as a single symbol. Okay, it treats it as a single symbol. Okay, not two characters, but a single symbol. So I could build up on this, but we're kind of at that point. We're at the 2-hour mark. I'm trying to keep the videos around 2 hours. I guess I feel like maybe, guys, right? I want the viewership to continue, and I feel if I go further, I tend to kind of go into other examples, and next thing you know, it's another 20 minutes in, and I want to kind of keep it at that 2-hour mark, because I got to try to understand people's lives, right? Maybe people only have a couple of hours in their life. So I'll continue this next stream. It's great to have you, every single one of you beautiful, intelligent people. I appreciate you all. You know I do. You knows I do's. I say it a lot. Thank you for watching. YouTubers, don't forget to hit the like button if you like the content. Lets me know that you're watching as well, right? A lot of crickets going on over there. Need the cricket sound. Do I have the cricket sound? Cricket sound. I think I do have a cricket sound. Close that. Open this. Let me just have a look. Knowing my luck, it'll probably go right to a commercial. I had a cricket sound at one time. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Not that important. Much love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hitting that follow button. You guys are all legends. Appreciate you. Johnny with Bologna&Weiners Coding. Appreciate you all. See you guys in the next live stream. Much love. Take care. Whoever you are, wherever you are, have a great rest of your day, evening, noon, or night. And I'll see you again soon. Take care for now. And peace.
Maybe I don't understand this.